So for this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to draft a basic pattern body without darts. So I'm going to take my measurement directly from a manicure to enable you understand how to draft and how to take measurement from your client. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking my bust circumference. This is 32.5. However, you can also decide to take it that's for the inches, and that is also for the 32 centimeter. So I'm going to be using centimeter for this. So I'm just going to divide the bust circumference into 2. So it's going to give me 41. So I'm going to be adding 7 to 10 inches to that 41. If I had 10 inches, that's going to be giving me 51. So the reason why I'm adding those inches is for allowance. So you can decide to add more or less. It's just for allowance and also for that. So I'm just going to be drawing a straight line. Yeah. Then I'll come down here 5 centimeters. Then I'm just going to come down here 5 centimeters and I'm going to be base my A. So I'm going to scroll down and then I'm going to measure my 51 centimeter here. And I'm going to also come down here and come down 5 centimeters. And then I'm just going to be drawing a straight line. And then I'm going to label it A1. So the purpose of doing this is because one side of my A is going to be my back, the half part of my back, and then the other part is going to be my half part of my front bodice. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here 1.5 inches. I'm going to be using this as my neck depth. So I'm just going to do the B. And then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to come down here in my armhole depth. So to be able to get that, I'm going to bring back my manicure and then I'm going to make that measurement. So this is what I'm going to be doing. This is 22. So I'm going to come down here 22 centimeters. And this is going to be my B1. So this is where I'm going to put the measurement of my bust circumference as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the measurement for my waistline as well. So I'm going to come down here. This is my waistline. This is 38. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to go 38. I'm going to measure it. See. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be transferring the same measurements here to this place. So I'm just going to be measuring from here to here, 51, just so I can get a straight line. And then I'm just going to draw a straight line here. And so for this, I'm going to come down here and measure 22 inches. Sorry, it's 21.5. I'm going to come down here and put my 21.5. This is my B2. And then for this is 38. I'm going to come down here and measure 38. And I'm going to label it 6. So I'm just going to draw a straight line to enable them meet each other. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be measuring my bust circumference, and then I'm going to be dividing it by 4. So I'm just going to come down here and I'm going to mark my bust circumference, and then I'm going to be doing the same thing for my waist circumference as well. And then this is 16, so I'm just going to come down here and I'm going to mark 16, and then I'm going to label it C as well, C3, B3. So the next thing I'm going to measure here is I'm going to measure, so the next thing I'm going to measure is my back width. This is the starting point of your armhole from the right hand side to the left hand side at your back. So this is, for me, this is 32. I'm just going to divide it by 2. This is 17. And then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to measure 17 here. Just label it D. And then I'm also going to come down here and I'm going to measure 17. And I'm going to come down here and join these two together. The next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be measuring. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be measuring my shoulder. So I'm getting, for this, I'm getting 12.5 inches. So I'm going to come down here 6 inches, and then I'm going to come down here 2.5 inches. This is to enable the slit for my shoulder. So I'm going to come down here and just draw a straight line. And the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be drawing my shoulder line, which is 12.5 on this straight line. And also for my neckline, I'm just going to be doing a curve. So now I'm just going to go ahead to join my armhole to my bust measurement, my bust circumference measurement. So I'm going to be readjusting this with my armhole ruler. So now I'm just going to be joining my waist to my bust. And you can do the same thing downward if you are actually going to, if you are taking the hips measurements as well. So now I'm going to be moving to my front measurements. So this is the back for this. So now the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be calculating for the front body. So for the front body, the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be moving, I'm going to be going 1.5 inches long on this side, and I'm just going to label it my A2. The reason why I'm doing this is to when you are actually drafting a pattern for a more busty person, it's better you go as high as 5 inches up. This is going to give that extra allowance to actually be able to allow the clothes sit properly for a busty person. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking the same measurements from B1 to B3, which is 21 inches. I'm going to be bringing it here. However, for somebody that wants to add that allowance, you can also put that allowance. So for this, I'm just going to be taking this. I'm going to be doing the front as 24 inches. So this is my B4. For this as well, and then I'm going to be joining this together with this. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be drawing my neckline. So I'm just going to be scrolling down 3 inches. And then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to take the same measurements that I took for this. This is 16.5 inches. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to put that 16.5 inches as well here. I'm just going to draw a straight line. Then I'm going to come here as well. And then I'm going to be joining them together. Next thing I want to do is I want to measure my neckline as well. So I'm just going to come in here and transfer whatever it is that I have here to this place. On my front neckline, I might go a little bit more deep. So let's say this. And then we're just going to be joining them together. So I'm going to be coming down here 4.5 inches, and then I'm going to draw a straight line. And I'm going to copy the same measurement that I have here, and I'm going to copy it down here as well. And then I'm just going to be using my armhole here. And this is for the front measurements.